Oh, yeah, I saw that. Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hello. What's going on? Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Last Friday of the month.
Means it's Grill Friday here.
Yep.
At USAGS.
My favorite day.
Yeah. Last Friday of every month, we grill out hamburgers, hot dogs, and brats. And
it's only been like 2 weeks since the last one because the January one we did like the
we had to do it late.
The later one. What was that? There was some
there were
reason.
people off, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was a few people off, and there's people missing today as well. Unfortunately, but
Cody called out.
Yeah. Anyway, too bad for them.
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad considering Derek's in Japan right now. So
yes, he is in Japan.
He's pretty lucky. He's on vacation there. But how are you guys all doing today? How are you doing, Adam?
Good. Tired. I got blood work done. So I had to fast. So then I had Waffle House to treat myself from fasting.
Where they don't have chicken and waffles.
No, but they have everything else that's good.
Yeah. All right. What are you guys' thoughts on Waffle House? Let us know. I've only tried it once so far, and I was not impressed. I'm not sure I'll go back again, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I need to try.
Come with me. I'll tell you what to do.
Okay. Maybe we need to do that. We need to have maybe one day instead of a Grill Friday, we just all go out.
To Waffle House.
We just all go out to a Waffle House. Something like that. Yeah. But all right. So yeah, we've got our kit to give away. Today we'll get into some other stuff, but here is our giveaway kit for the X01 Destiny, which is a disappointing name just because it doesn't
really say anything.
Doesn't say anything about what it actually is. Yeah, you're just like, oh, I'm building the X01 Destiny. You wouldn't have any inclination that it is what this is.
If people didn't know what the numbers were for the Gundam Destiny, then they would think you might be
maybe that. Which I assume is actually probably not far off from something like that. It's probably a similar number.
X dash something.
You guys can let us know.
Yeah, because X is for experimental and seed.
Ooh. Look who's the seed expert over here.
Yeah.
But no, this kit is available in black and white. So we're giving away the black one, and here I've got the white one already built. So here you go. I'll be reviewing this one over there on my channel, but I just built this up yesterday, and it's pretty cool. It's much more simple than like the Kotobukiya Zoids kits. It's sort of like building like a high grade version of that. It still has a bunch of detail and like a cool design. You have the clear parts on there, and interestingly, I expected that, like the main difference between the two is just the color. The armor color is black or white, and the clear parts are red in this case, orange in that case. But with this version, and I assume with this version as well, you actually get the clear parts in both colors. So you have the clear parts, even though it's red on the box art, you have orange and red in there that you can choose between the two. Because with this one, it came with all the orange you see on here. It also came with red for those. I just went with orange because that's what's on the box.
Right.
Nice. So a pretty cool kit. Interesting. And the first kit, as far as I know, from this company, Sun Queen, the producer of this new one. So
sure interesting. They make other things.
Yeah, not as far as I know. That'll be interesting to see what else they come out with. They make like a Triceratops kind of version or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If they stick in this kind of line of dinosaur mecha models. Yeah. So what do you guys think about that? We'll have our giveaway drawing later on. For now, Adam, what's been going on here? What's new?
Just tons and tons of shipments of Bandai stuff. So we've gotten 3 or 4 containers now this month. We're getting another one Monday or Tuesday. We got Kotobukiya came yesterday.
Yesterday? Day before.
Day before yesterday. Day before
Wednesday
yesterday.
Afternoon.
A day this week.
Yes.
So that was a pretty big shipment. But yeah, other than that, just getting stuff in, get stuff shipped out as fast as we can. Busy month. This February has been busy.
Yes. There's been a lot of orders, just a lot of stuff coming in. Like I said, so much stuff coming in, going out. What aside from this, we've also had some new stuff. In that Kotobukiya order, we got that the 2:1 scale Megami Device statue.
Yep.
The Astro Ninja,
which is very cool.
Which at the moment I know there's a few. Some of those are still available. If any of you guys did not pre-order one,
Right.
We didn't get too many of them because they're quite big sachets.
Right,
You
yeah.
saw the video that I did over on my channel of that. So not too many of those, and those are probably going to be very difficult to come by later on if you're trying to get one, 6 months to a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
So
they do come with the bonus face. If
that's it.
Order from us. So I don't think every store got the bonus face.
So. I didn't in my review. I didn't have that when I reviewed it, but yeah, that is something that you can get if you order now, or if you had it pre-ordered.
Yeah. A lot of Hex Gear restocks that was on that Kotobukiya. There's a was it the Genosaur came in?
Oh yeah.
Genosaur came in. There's some Zoid restocks.
Speaking of dinosaur mecha models.
Yeah. What else came in? Jeez. Lots of Bandai restocks. A ton of those. Some third-party restocks.
Bunch of the Nuke Matrix girl, the mermaid one.
Those are all gone now, though.
Oh, okay.
We did get snail shell figures, so we restocked the Bubble Tea girl. So if you like those, there's just a lot of stuff. You try to think of it.
The MGSD, those are all
gone
already.
But we are getting more next week. But they'll probably be gone in a day.
Yeah.
Based on how the other one sold. So, we should probably get more of those depending on what we're given from other situations that occurred.
Make sure, if that's something that you haven't pre-ordered, but you want to make sure, because once we get them in, most of what we get in will just go out to people that are already pre-ordered. Some will be available, but they won't be available for very long.
Right.
Because everybody who's on the website, you can tick the box there that says let me know when it becomes available. Everybody that ticked that box gets that email at the same time. And if that's maybe 200 people and we only had 50 extra, they're probably not going to last very long.
They're
so
go pretty fast. So
make sure that you have that box checked. If it's something that you're kind of on the lookout for and you haven't pre-ordered it yet, but you're thinking maybe once it gets in stock, maybe I'll pick it up. Just check that box and then you'll get an email at least. And if you're quick, you can get your hands on one at that time.
Definitely.
But so it's something to utilize. But yeah, everything that's come in that's restock stuff, we have a post about that as well. If you want to see the full list. So those posts go up on the website that has the list of kind of everything.
Yeah, and you can look at past lists that we've gotten this month. A lot of it's still in stock because we got good amounts of it. But you can just go to our blog. So if you go on the website, it's on the left-hand side. You can click that, and then it'll show you all the different blog posts. We do our anime figure restocks or new, because usually anime figures aren't restocked. Kotobukiya,
Shipments, a bunch of those the other day as well. The figures.
A lot of anime figures came in. Yeah, so all that gets posted. So if you ever want to see what's coming in or what has recently come in, you can check that out.
Yep. All right. So I don't think we have too much else new to talk about. As far as the next build day, we don't have a plan for that yet. We're just kind of working on that.
Yeah.
And for the next contest as well, we don't have an update for that stuff for you guys yet. So we'll let you know. It's just been so busy with stuff in the warehouse and everything. So we'll work on that stuff and we'll let you guys know. Hopefully maybe by the next episode.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, so there's, I think, not too much else.
No, we can just kind of
new stuff. Get to the questions.
I feel like Chris usually has the first question a lot of times.
Yes. Either that or his show up higher. I don't know if these are in order, because they're not. You can see there's 23 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, 19 hours. So they're not necessarily in order by time. I think it's just because people who comment frequently, I think their comments will show up.
That's interesting.
Earlier, or maybe it goes by people who have more followers.
Maybe
theirs show up higher as well. I'm not sure.
Huh?
Looking at Instagram.
Yeah.
But all right, let's take Chris's question.
You might have it by top thing.
Yeah.
That's why.
Not in chronological order.
All right. Yeah. So.
So Chris's question. I'm not sure if Chris is watching. He's usually there. Chris, if you're there,
he was
say hello. Did he say something in the chat?
No,
I saw Tim was there.
Hey, Tim. Viper. Good morning.
Anyway, he said, "Are you guys excited for the Bandai iteration of Zoids? What do you think they'll do differently?" That's for that that figure, that like Chogokin
Yeah, so
Liger, right?
yeah, we're not, as far as I know, from what I've been told when I asked Bandai, we are not getting that here in the States.
Oh,
So that is what I've been told as of last month
for right now.
when I asked. So that could change, but there's a different license holder here in the States for Zoids. So I think they're up. Are they up for pre-order?
I believe so. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure probably sold out, no doubt.
Right. So yeah, if I mean, fingers crossed. I've been told no on things before, and then magically we did get it.
Yeah.
So
they might work something out kind of in the meantime. I mean, as far as what they're going to do differently, I mean, the big difference is that it's going to be a figure, like a pre-assembled figure.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the Shogoken line, I mean, they're basically...
It's like a metal build.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I don't think you put them together. I think they're just there. You might put, like, the arms on, but the arm's fully built.
Yeah.
So it's... I mean, it's a nice, solid action figure is really what it is, because it's posable and stuff like that, but it's very well done. Tamashii did a great job with their Shogoken line, so I'm sure it's gonna look great. And if they make other ones, I'm sure those will be great too. Yeah.
And that would be the main difference as far as like what I've seen in the kit. And I haven't looked at it, or the figure, I haven't looked at it that closely, but it was, in terms of just like the design, the details and everything, it looks similar to like a Zoids HMM kit from Kotobukiya, just in that it looks like super detailed and everything. I'm sure it'll be really nice, and probably going to be a similar size, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know the scale.
Quite large.
Yeah. Usually Shogoken stuff's pretty big.
And the Kotobukiya kits are pretty big as well, so it's probably going to be pretty similar. Vehicle as first steps for getting into scribing.
Buy yourself a scriber.
Yes.
Then get yourself some sort of... There's a lot of companies now that make them. Old school way was just use Dymo tape. So you want like an edge, that you can guide your scriber on. I'll use also a pencil to kind of draw on the parts first too, to see if it's what I want, and you kind of stick that on. But I know Haikyuu makes tape. Despae makes tape. I think everyone kind of makes
scribing tape.
Right, scribing tape now. So that's a good thing to get. And then honestly, watch watch YouTube videos and tutorials. I mean, there's people here that are very good. Tim is good at scribing. I believe Viper is really good at scribing.
Yeah. As far as I know, as far as I can remember,
So yeah, check them out. Yeah, like it's an art, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, for getting into scribing, I mean, you mentioned buying a scriber, but on that note, as there's a lot of different companies that make them, the prices are going to range dramatically from like cheaper ones to much more expensive ones. You don't need anything super expensive just to like get into trying it out. I mean, obviously you want like a pretty good one, but get a couple that are kind of decently priced, just to give you some like a wider one and then like a more narrow one, just so you can try out kind of using both. And the main thing is, it just takes a lot of practice. So, practice scribing some lines on just some leftover pieces, scrap pieces. If you built any number of kits, you probably have some leftover pieces somewhere around that you can practice on. Try it on some curved pieces, some flat pieces, or you can just try it just on plot plate if you have some of that around. But actually on pieces is probably, better practice, because that's what you're ultimately going to be doing it on. But just any kind of scribing tape, which is it's just a thicker like plastic tape, basically.
I feel a lot of people remember the old Dymo label makers. That's literally all it is. It's like a thick plastic tape that you stick on and has an edge that you can butt that scriber right up to, and you can do your lines.
Yep. So just practice is kind of the main thing.
Yes.
And don't feel like you have to spend a ton of money on like top of the line stuff like right off the bat, just to kind of get the feel for it, because you just want to get used to it, because that's like the most difficult thing, I feel like, is just getting used to the feeling, kind of the speed and the pressure that you have to use to do that. It takes time.
Yes, and you need to take your time when you're doing it
too. So until you get the feel for it, just practice, and then once you start to get the hang of it and you feel like you're getting pretty good at it, then maybe invest in better tools, like higher quality ones, whatever. But yeah. Traffic asked, is the new contest being announced soon? So just on that note, we kind of mentioned that yeah, we're not ready to announce that yet, but yes, it will be soon. All right. Do you think Bandai hasn't released the MG Zaku or its variants like Rambaral Custom with a 2.0 frame? Oh, why? Sorry. Why hasn't Bandai released 2.0s of some of the MG Zakus? It seems rather
than the variants minor or mine layer. It's kind of broken.
Yeah. Anyway, they could technically do that with multiple lines of kits, Jim, Dom. Yeah, so basically for the different MG 2.0s that exist, why don't they make some of the other different variants as 2.0s?
Did they make Rambaral as a P Bandai, though, I thought?
No?
Wasn't part of the Ace Pilot line? No? Okay.
No. But I'm not sure. Because because Rambaral would...
I know they made it
be the goof.
They had a Gelgoog, right, too? No?
Anyway, the long and short of it, I guess it's just that, Bandai is just making calculations as far as, what they feel like is going to sell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that they would make some more of those different kind of variations because, I enjoy them. They're cool.
Yep.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like a lot of the MG Zaku Ace Pilot Log kits that they came out with, it's mostly just recolors with different decal sheets. Like if they would just sell the decal sheets, as long as you paint, that's all you really need. A couple of them did have like actually different parts. Like there was the Shin Matsunaga's Zaku 2 that had like the two spiked shoulders that were a little bit different. They're kind of a little bit more like the Gelgoog or the Goof's shoulders.
Yeah, and some of them had different weapons, but I think that's kind of really, most of them were just a recolor.
Yeah, recolor and kind of changing the parts a little bit, like the Zaku to the regular upper body with like the high mobility legs, something like that.
Yeah,
that you can kind of make on your own. But all right. What do you do with the leftover empty runners? Screws?
Spurs is probably
what he meant. Yeah. Anyway, is there a specific way we should be recycling them? I've seen in Japan has collection points, and some people choose to melt them down for custom parts. I started collecting nubs so I could have a jar of nubs. I've seen people do that. But when it comes to runners, they're just a landfill filler. So I'm curious.
Jar of nubs.
Have you not seen people do that?
No.
Like when they're cutting and then they just kind of brush it all and they have just like a jar full of just all their little nubs. So I've seen some people do that. I'm sure I could probably fill a couple jars off of my floor here. So, in here, I just brush them. At home, I have this like kind of IKEA tray. When I'm building kits at home, I have this tray that I build over to try to kind of collect that. And then I just dump the nubs in the trash.
Yeah, I feel like we get this question a lot. Yeah. And I feel like we never have a solid answer. Well, I think the polystyrene can be
recycled.
I remember seeing something like that. And then I feel like I always say this and I never go look it up. So
I put mine in the recycling. Whether they can or can't be recycled, I don't know. It's at least
trying.
Yeah. It's at least going to the recycling center, I guess. Whatever that is locally. But I know, like, depending on where you live, recycling services aren't available. So, unfortunately, there's not really any good answer. And even in Japan, as far as like official Bandai collection points and things like that, I think maybe, you can dump them in like a bin at like different Gundam base locations or something like that. Maybe. I'm not even sure about that, but it's just a logistical thing of it just not being worth it. And then as far as like cutting the runners down to then, and then like adding liquid cement to turn it into like a plastic putty, you can do that, but you don't really need, if you have a kit that has 5, 6, 7, 8 runners, you don't need that many runners worth to just make. You're not going to be making like a huge amount of plastic putty out of just chopping up your runners.
Yeah,
you only need like maybe half a runner to fill like that much.
So it can be recycled, but most places don't recycle it.
So there you go.
Because I guess it is hard to recycle. in most things that are made out of recycled plastic, it said cannot use soft plastic like that, and that is why.
There you go.
They want PVC.
Yeah.
PVC plastics.
So I
hard
mean,
plastics are more commonly and readily acceptable.
I guess the only really best thing that maybe could be less wasteful would be if Bandai can come up with a way to do their molding in a way that uses less of runner, but then I mean they still have to come up with a way to be able to get the plastic, into the parts and stuff.
You have to reinvent
It would be very difficult, and I mean maybe they could design them in a way to save a little bit of plastic, but then is it really worth?
Well, they did those. What was those Limex?
Mm-hmm.
That was done as a eco.
By mixing
limestone and what else they mixed it with. So I don't know. I know they were trying different things to see, but that was part of a world eco initiative. They did those Limex kits, right? It was called Limex, right?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? I mean, they literally might come up with another substance that's like plastic that is eco-friendly. The problem is the more eco-friendly it is, the less it's going to last on your shelf. Probably it'll break down. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
because then it has to be compatible to be able to take lacquer, like a solvent-based paint and everything as well.
Good invention if you want to try to invent something.
Or we should all just give up plastic modeling in an effort to save the earth.
No.
Difficult one. Yeah, no good answer really. Gravitas asked one that might be a difficult one for you, Adam. What's your favorite Advance of Zeta design?
Hazel. Wouldn't work. What other key ones can I name?
I was gonna say. Can you name any other ones?
You think by listening to you say the names, I would eventually just memorize them, but nope, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Woundwart's Titan's color. Is that even a thing?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, technically, it's all Titans.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But there's like the deployment colors and what would be like the test colors. But for me, yeah, it's difficult. There's a lot of really cool ones to choose from. I mean, just the Hazel is great. I mean, the Woundwort, those, and it's kind of like base designs and then other different variants. Man, yeah, the Kehara is really cool. The Dandelion, actually, I really quite like, which is the one that's kind of
the one
based off
IBO?
of the. No, that's
Dentalion.
Yes. Well, which, if I'm thinking correctly, is the one that's kind of based off of like the Marasai. And it has like kind of this big skirt that kind of goes out around it.
Sure.
Yeah. The Hazenthale, yes. Hazenthale 2, yeah, I would say yes. Hazenthale 2, I prefer more than the Hazenthale. But, I mean, they're kind of all good. It's kind of hard to choose. Hyzak 2, probably one of my... is still a really cool design. Maybe I like those less than others. But, difficult one to answer. What's holding back USA Gunpla community to become what it could be, like the Asian Gunpla communities? Ooh,
I think it's just time. As long as it keeps getting more and more popular, more and more people do it, more and more. I think they've just had more time in Japan to, enjoy building, and more people get into it. And I mean, if you want to get to that, you're always going to have people, I think, in every hobby or community or whatever that are just jerks. But I don't think they really hold back the community.
My question would be, so what is, I mean, the person who asked this question, and maybe you guys as well, what's your understanding of how the US Gunpla community is different from the Asian Gunpla community? Because I feel like a lot of people here, and including myself, who even lived there for a long time, people here, if you're in this community, I mean, I don't know how well you really have a good grasp of what the community is like there. I feel like it's quite different.
Is it though?
As far as my understanding of it, I think like, you know,
Or is it just the same, just more popular over there? And it's still the same people like the same type of people like it.
I mean, that's more of just like considering like
I don't know why the community would be different.
I think you're thinking of community as in like consumers of the products. Yeah, in Japan, or just kind of in certain countries in Southeast Asia, yeah, there's certainly a lot of consumers of the products. But I mean, it just kind of also depends. I mean, what you mean by community, as in like they have like online forums and like actual like meetups and things like that, things that are like bringing people together in some way.
But we do that here.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I think that there's really not that much difference, like in terms of like what we have available. There's a lot more people there, but I mean,
we're also way more spread out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Asian countries, there's, it's a lot of people compact into a smaller area too. So maybe like when people see, for example, like a build day here, we might get 50 people, but a build day there, they might get a few hundred people, depending on the venue, or it might be a small, I don't know. I just
really
feel like the communities are the same.
They're very similar and very different, I guess, kind of in different ways, I guess. I don't know. It's difficult to.
The interesting question.
Yeah.
That leads to a lot of different answers, I guess.
Chris mentioned that there's less focus on personalities in Asia. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think there is, but it's just that we're not a part of that community. So, and just because of the language barrier as well, it's hard for us here in this community to really understand about what goes on in that community. I think there is definitely a lot of focus on personalities. I mean, you have like popular builders there that kind of everybody knows. I mean, I think that from my point of view, as far as I know, the Japan and Korea have definitely been later as far as like having like, because I think we had like big personalities in YouTube before they did.
Right. Yeah.
They came later to like that scene, and I think that has a lot to do with them just kind of being more shy about showing themselves on camera and things like that. And even now, a lot of like the kind of big name YouTubers and stuff in Japan, they don't actually show their face.
Yeah. I mean, as far as, because Chris said too, the West is a bit more vocal. I can see that. I also can see, there's probably vocal people over there too.
No doubt. Yeah.
I don't know. I still go back to, I think we're literally exactly the same. There's just more people over there, and maybe some people are more shyer than other people, but you're still gonna have vocal people, just like over here. You're still gonna have jerks. You're still gonna have great people that are, both. I just think that people maybe here in the U.S. see Japan and like, oh, it's so much better. Not necessarily that's true. It's the same kind of person is going to like the same kind of stuff. They're going to still build the kits. They're still going to share with their friends and share with other builders if they're that personality. Whether you're from Japan or from the U.S., if you have that personality, you're going to do the same thing.
Yeah. And even Tim mentioning too that it's time, experience, and dedication. I mean, and even that, I feel like it's really not that different. I mean, because there's certainly people over there who are masters of what they do. I mean,
there just might be more people over there that have those disciplines. One, because more people there that do it, and they've done it longer. They've had it over there longer than we've had it. So I think in another 10 years, we'll have more people that have become adept at their skill sets and stuff like that. I just think it's the same. It's just people kind of put that on a pedestal over there, maybe because they've had more time over there with exposure to Gundam, and Gundam has become, building Gunpla has been more prevalent there way longer than it has been here. But I mean,
I think like Tim, to your point of saying that they're more dedicated to honing their skills, I mean, that's a very wide generalization.
I think it's just the person. It just depends on the person.
People, some people are, but I mean, think about just for Gunpla alone, not talking about any other models, but I mean, like just Gunpla alone. I mean, I'm not sure about if even Bandai has this knowledge, but as far as like like for YouTube, you can see like your analytics as far as like this age range, this age range, this age range. I'm not sure if Bandai has any way of collecting that kind of information, but I'm sure they have a general idea that, you know, like 60-70% of their model kits are sold to young kids.
They do ask me for that information. So I would assume that they are asking other companies.
So, I mean, sure, there's probably, you know, the percentage of the people who would fit like to what Tim's saying that are more dedicated to honing their skill set, as Tim said. I think among consumers, the percentage of people who are like that in Japan is probably higher than it is here. Yeah, but there's still a lot of people who are just, you know, doing it like a lot of people are doing it here. It's just a hobby. You know, they're not necessarily spending, you know, days, weeks, months on, you know, painting and customizing kits. There's a lot of people over there that are just building it. I mean, I feel like because what we see like on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, we see like the best stuff. But if you look around, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, like, and then we feel like, oh, if you look on like Instagram here among a lot of builders, it's a lot of snap build stuff, and on Facebook, a lot of like snap build stuff. There's a lot of that in Japan too. We just don't see it because we're not in that community, and like the community is just kind of different.
We get shared what people find that are great, and so our community shares that great build, but you're not going to see someone snap build a red frame and let's share that.
So the difficulty with this question, I think, is just that we're just so separated in terms of our perspective, and a lot of that's just due to the language barrier, and like I think a lot of our focus is on YouTube and Instagram kind of primarily, whereas there it's more Twitter and then like blogs and websites and stuff. And so we're just kind of in different spaces, speaking different languages, and so it's really hard to have a kind of good perspective on what the community is like there compared to here.
Very good question.
Yes, I'm interested. I mean, I'd love to be able to kind of give a more definitive answer on that, but there's just not really a good way to answer. Joey asked, do you think we will ever see MG versions of the rest of the IBO kits? I mean, the rest of them, no, but some more, yes. Yeah.
For some reason, when you kept saying IBO, my mind kept thinking of 00. And I'm like, we have we don't have like the second variant, but but yeah, we'll definitely get more IBO Master Grades. I would, as well as the Barbados has done, I'd be extremely surprised if we don't get one this year. Although I said that last year and we didn't get one last year, so so I am extremely surprised.
If I may, I think there was kind of, if we can go back to that question, the Plastica, just because there was like the first part of his question, I feel like we didn't actually kind of really address was his question was what's holding the U.S. Gunpla community back?
Yeah, we never really.
As far as that goes, I don't know if there's necessarily anything really holding the U.S. Gunpla community back other than like, I mean, if there's something that you feel like could be better, I mean, then the, you know.
Yeah, I don't think anything's holding back. I just think there are more people that build over there, so it makes it look like that community is bigger, better, and but there's people that build here. I don't know. I mean, other than just more people getting into it. I mean, you could say that, you know, marketing for products and getting it out there, but Bandai's doing that here. You know, Bandai's literally getting into bigger box stores so people can find it. You know, at those big box stores, they're literally making a Netflix movie whenever that comes out. You know, they're literally pumping a lot of money into advertising at all the different, you know, major conventions around the United States. So, I mean, they're getting the word out there. I mean, it
certainly is spreading. And I mean, if anything, it's not being held back, but it's growing quite a bit.
Oh, no, it's, it is massively growing still.
I mean, with any hobby that grows, I mean, it's going to be good for that community because it's bringing a lot more people in. You get a lot more exposure. It gets a lot more normalized. As people were mentioning about like it, you know, the kind of what's the word? Anyway, stigma. Yes, thank you. Of like, you're playing with toys, or it's like kind of a weird or nerdy hobby. That's kind of going away more and more as it's kind of being more normalized. So
and as go on, I'm sorry.
No, just you get the downside of a growing community too, is that it brings in more negative people as well,
does,
and more negativity. But that's just kind of a byproduct of any growing hobby, I guess.
Ignore those people.
Yeah.
But and two, Gundam benefits the more like anime in popularity grows too. You know, anime is growing massively too here in the States and getting more and more popular. So I mean, there's a lot of good things going for the Gundam community. And not a lot of negative things going for it. So it's I don't think anything's really holding it back. I just don't really. The only thing that might be holding it back might be people that just don't want to get into it, but then that's their own personal.
And I mean, if there was anything that you would like to see more of, or you would like to see changed, I mean, like you could certainly make an effort to do that yourself. Like if you would like to see more like physical meetups of people getting together, I mean, like try to organize something, or if you don't feel it's something that you're capable of doing, let people who are in leaders in your community or content creators or whatever where you live, maybe let them know it's something you're interested in and kind of encourage them. Hey, I would love to have a meetup, but is this something that you think you could do? And
so you'd be first off, I don't think any local hobby shop would say no to something like that unless they literally didn't have the room. Most hobby shops have like a table or two they can put out. You'd be surprised that a lot of different restaurants and venues will say sure to it as well, because now you're bringing people to their restaurant
that are going to spend money.
So if you really want a build day or a gathering, honestly, it very easily can be done. So
or even if it's not a physical thing, if it's just something online, like you want to like organize a group build or some kind of like a streaming event, like the weekender event, something like that.
There's a lot of Discord, Discord groups that will literally just all be building and talking to each other, and I've been part of some of those. They're fun. I mean, they are. So
okay, so anyway, now we can finally move on from that.
Great
all right,
question.
Yes. Creative asks, do you prefer the MGSD Freedom or the MG Freedom 2.0? I mean, aside from the proportions, design-wise, they're very similar.
I've only built the 2.0. I didn't keep one of the SDs for myself. I'm sure I'll get one in the future. I don't even think you've built it.
Not yet. Yeah, so waiting on mine too.
So I can't really answer that one, I guess.
Yeah, without having built the MGSD, I mean, just in general, though, I would say that I prefer the 2.0 just because I think the MGSD is a really interesting idea. And I'm looking forward to future kits, although I'm still not totally sold on the look of the MGSD Freedom yet.
I like it though.
Okay, what kit that I guess it's what is a kit that inspires you to continue building the toy
Mechanic RN.
Mechanic
RN. Registered nurse. The toy
Maybe.
Mechanic registered nurse.
Could be.
Maybe.
What's a kit that inspires you to continue building?
I don't know if it's one single kit that keeps inspiring me to keep building, but just different kits themselves. I'll see and want to build it. I get the hiccups. I'm sorry, guys. So it's not. I mean, when I see other people's builds, that usually is what really inspires me. So it doesn't have to be one single kit. I can go on and see one of Tim's builds and be, oh crap, I need to build something that looks awesome. I want to build something like it, or see one of your builds, or different things like that. Usually seeing other people's work is what usually motivates me to do something versus just seeing a plain new kit, if that makes sense.
I mean, for me, it's mixing it up. So like last week, for example, I got caught up in building a lot of the new Witch from Mercury kits, about like 4 in a row of the HD Witch from Mercury kits. And then I wanted to build something else. So it's not like I didn't enjoy that, or like, if I have to build another one of those, I'm just going to die. But it was, I wanted to mix something up. So then, so now what I started building just at home is I started a new machining career kit.
You build at home too?
Of course. What do you think? Usually a couple of nights a week, I'm putting in some hours just kind of snap building stuff for review. I just build at home. But yeah,
I started building that Weird Tales hex gear kit actually yesterday.
Oh, last night. Yeah,
I got like 3 pieces done.
There you go. Because you're probably like doing that at the same time while you're like on
watching
Minecraft or something with
no. Although Minecraft is awesome. Got my
Minecraft shoes. Oh my god,
Minecraft
Minecraft Crocs.
No, I was in between watching the kids, and then the kids, you know, I don't know, they just want your attention, which is fine.
No, for me, it's just to keep me kind of inspired building. I just like to switch it up.
Yes.
So like building some mecha kits, then I'll switch it up, build like one of Kotobukiya's Mecha Musume kits, and then build the Gunpla kit, and then build something different, something entirely different, like something like this. So yeah. Though if I had to pick one, which is like kind of the best kind of inspiration palette cleansing kits, for me, it's probably Machine Krieger. I really just enjoy kind of the much slower pace of building a kit like that. Other kits is just I'm just kind of zooming through it, going through the motions. Those Machine Krieger is where I actually kind of have to slow down because parts need to be glued, and you have this
more
with seams and
in
things
depth.
like that. Yeah. So it's the Lunagans. It's the one that I'm building at home now at the moment.
Said Mine Crocs.
How did you not get a pair of those for Ron as well?
I thought Ron was going to get himself some. So if he doesn't soon, I probably will.
I'll have to get him a pair.
Yeah. They're limited edition.
I'm sure they are. My son keeps like getting interested like a little bit in Minecraft just because his friends at school talk about Minecraft. He's never played it before or anything like that.
Shows you how much of a child I am here, guys.
Well, so sometimes he asks me something about Minecraft. Something about Minecraft. So I always tell him no, but you know who does? Mr. Ryan. So he may start asking you stuff about Minecraft in the future. All right. So Macro said, I'm just commenting here, man. Like, you guys got to work on your grammar here. For the nth time, hoping I'll win the raffle. Well, even if your question is selected, the criteria for winning is you have to ask a question. So if you didn't ask a question,
there's no question mark there.
So
come on.
Sorry about that. Diego asked, do you think there'll be a new master? He's also asking about Mastergrade IBO. So if anybody at Bandai is listening, I mean, a lot of people want to know about MG IBO.
Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised they haven't. I really thought that there would be one by now. I thought there'd be one last year, but
William here in the chat, I just want to answer this one here. He said, when will we see Zach build a car or a plane? I have. Last year, I bought my first tank model and my first. It's over there. Yes.
Is it the Gundam tank model?
No, the Hildorf.
Yeah, that one's the best.
No, like an actual like Tamiya tank. And my first so it's not a car, but it's a scooter, motorcycle kind of thing. I've just not built them yet. So I've got the kits, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying those out, just to trying something different. I don't think I'm ever going to be at the point where like that's going to be my primary focus is on like real world model kits, but there are a couple that I recently picked up that I want to try.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of, and I've never built one, is the like anti-air guns and stuff, or the artillery.
The model kits.
Yeah, never like tanks and stuff. No, but like the actual like big like artillery guns and anti-air guns. I've always been a fan of looking at people's kits of those. I thought were cool. Because I put like little minis in there and stuff.
Sure.
And,
okay. What do you guys think will be the next PG coming out? It's a good question.
It is. I really want an Unleashed Saku. I'm really feeling that one. And I don't know anything about any perfect grade. No info or anything like that has been told to me.
Yeah.
If that is the case. So I just want to put that out there. That Bandai, no one told me anything.
Yeah.
But yes, please make that happen.
I would love that. I would also love.
Was the Unleashed a marketing tool though for that? Yeah, they like did
That's
the
what I would
Revive.
imagine.
Yeah,
It's probably just a one-off thing. Won't be like a line.
Yeah, because they did the Revive, and Revive is technically a marketing thing for those kits. And now when you order that kit, it doesn't even say Revive at the end of them. It's just the 2.0 version.
Whereas like MGX, for example, I mean, if it has its own
logo,
then it's a line. I feel like. I would love PG Shinanju to go with the unicorn. That would be really cool.
That would be really expensive though.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, similar to the unicorn. Right?
Yeah.
All right, let me switch platforms here. We've just been on Instagram so far. Let's go over to Facebook and see what we got here. Lance said, I love robot dinosaurs. I love robots and dinosaurs when not combined. Again, not a question, unfortunately. So no question there for us. What's an MGSD you'd like to see someday? So,
I mean, honestly, I had it in my head.
A Gelgoog.
No. I mean, honestly, anyone would be cool. But I'm sure they'll go through like the main popular ones. Like we'll get a unicorn, we'll get Arc 78. But it'd be cool to have maybe some obscure one, like a GM Sniper 2 would be pretty neat. Or a
honestly, an Exia I think would work quite well for that.
Exia would work cool.
Yeah.
Snandru would be neat.
Yeah.
Snandru Stein for sure. Like if they don't stick to like the super main suits, but I'm sure they will. So.
Yeah. How big is this kit compared to Zoids? Jeremy asked. So this is definitely smaller than the Tyrannosaur.
Yeah.
That similar type of kits like the Genosaur, the Genobreaker, for example.
It's a little bit smaller than probably a Liger.
It's probably similar in size to the Rev Raptors, which I've not built those, so I can't say for sure, but I feel like those are maybe a little bit smaller than this, but it's not big like a like an HMM kit.
What, 10 inches long from tail to, let's see how good my visual.
It's about
30.
It's about 29 centimeters.
Okay.
So
I don't know what that is in inches. Sorry, I'm not in the metric scale here.
But anyway, to answer your question, it's definitely smaller than the Kotobukiya kits. So like I said, it's, in terms of its complexity and its size, it's kind of like building an HG version of a Zoids HMM kit. Smaller, less complex, but still has a bunch of detail in it. Yeah. When is the Digimon Adventure Figure Eye Standard Angemon coming in stock? Didn't we not get that? Or that's
no. That's the dude that ain't right. The Angel Wing guy. Yeah, no, not yet. Actually, it might be on the container that comes Monday. Don't quote me on that, guys. I'm pretty sure it'll be here
soon.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty on top of. There's kits that are coming in Monday's container that released last week. In Japan. So that's good. Yeah, they're getting pretty quick here. Like the SD Mastergrade SD, what was released 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I feel like it's probably been almost a month.
Has it been almost a month?
Point, yeah.
So,
probably around there, middle of January, I think.
Well,
it was.
We got them last week. Yeah. So we got them within 3 weeks?
Within a month of the release, which is good.
Yeah, because we were getting things like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So they're pretty catching up. I mean, they're pretty much right there right now. I mean, for our stuff, I don't know where they're at with everyone else's stuff. But.
Considering that if they don't ship it out before the release date, if they're shipping it out like on or around release date,
it'll take a week or two to get
across the ocean, get to California, and then come across the U.S. to us here.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks for that is fine. Yeah, it'd be nice if Bandai just like sent it out earlier, but
which some of the stuff that's on this, they would have had to.
Yeah,
so
sometimes they do, but not always. Yeah.
Right. And there we got the Mastergrade Barbados. We actually had it here before the release date.
Yeah. See, so that'd be nice if that was the case. But I mean, I guess I'm sure the main reason is probably just that they're just not able to because
there's a lot
because of the production. But then I have to imagine probably they're also just kind of worried about if they do that, then somebody's gonna
just start
show something or start building it or start selling it before it's supposed to be sold or anything like that. So, favorite RG kit, Miles? past.
I've never built an RG.
Never built an RG.
No.
Wow.
Tons of master grades, some high grades. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Well, that is a shame. For me, it would probably be the Sazabi. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah.
I want to build the Hainu.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do that.
You and everybody else, apparently, because it's a very
we have them in stock.
Often. Oh, do we?
Yeah,
I was going to surprise. I think that we
shit ton
normally...
right now in stock.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, there.
Excuse my language.
Grab one,
kids. Yeah.
Will you consider to have your own water slides? We were actually just talking about that the other day. So
yeah, I mean, technically we do with the
sim stuff,
mecha decals.
Oh, with those and the mecha decals, are sold here.
Yeah, but we don't put like USA GS on them or anything like that. So, although we did talk about that.
Yeah,
I don't know how many people would want it, but
we'll see. So yeah, no, we were just talking about that the other day, as it may be something that
a giveaway
we may develop as part of like the giveaway kind of thing. So yeah, we'll let you guys know about that. I think it would be pretty cool. Chad wants to know, when is your favorite time to sit down and build for longer stretches? Morning, afternoon?
Honestly,
evening,
nighttime is when I usually have free time after the kids go to bed, and as long as my wife doesn't want me watching a show with her, then I have time to do kind of whatever I want to do. It's also like it's nice and cool at nighttime, and I usually have to build in the garage. That's where all my stuff is. My paint booth. I don't have to snap it, but if I want to paint, so it's nicer at night.
Sure.
For that. You looked at me like I was crazy.
Oh,
but I can't paint in the house.
No, I mean painting, I understand, but I thought you were saying like you're just like snap building kits in your garage. Just thinking like, why would you do that? It's not like you don't have somewhere that you could find a space in the house that you could do that. For me, yeah, usually night, but I feel like that's just kind of I'm not sure if that's my preferred time.
It's probably the time you have free.
That's just the time, that's generally when I am doing it. Yeah, but I mean, like some days I'm just building in the afternoon. It's nice. Probably not the morning time, just because mornings usually like when I'm doing editing and stuff, kind of the things that are requiring me to use my brain a little bit more. Whereas like just snap building kits is when my kind of brain's off. I usually will just have like YouTube or something on in the background. I'm just kind of doing that and kind of relaxing. That's good to do in the afternoon, like when you need to just kind of relax a little bit, or night.
Right.
Yeah. What are your favorite non-Bandai model kits, company or standout models that you would recommend?
Kotobukiya I like a lot. I built a few of the Hexagear kits, which I liked. Other companies.
What other companies' model kits have you built? Because I remember you saying you haven't built anything from Wave.
No. I did build that side, that space colony kit that we got in. I did build that, so that was from Wave.
All right.
And it was okay. I think that really just Bandai, Kotobukiya. I built ATK Girl.
Yeah.
I want to build that the ISIS kit, model kit for YouTube, so you know what I'm talking about.
The Alpha Max,
Alpha Max
Dark
kit.
Advent, ISIS,
yeah.
But
I haven't started that yet. Yeah, that's it, really. So,
the DX version,
of course.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just wanted to ever tell you that PayPal, when we first put that up for pre-order, started holding all the payments.
Oh, because it had ISIS in the name.
So PayPal flagged them all as being possible terrorist activity, and like flagged every single person, every order that paid with PayPal.
That's too bad.
I have not, Jeremy, sadly. I have both versions, but I have not.
Built the Judge. Yeah. That's a good one too.
My problem is just time. I just don't have time, between here and home and kids. It's finding the time is sure when I'm old.
And Minecraft.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Priorities, guys.
Yes. For me, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great Kotobukiya stuff. But yeah, then like I said, I do enjoy Machine Krieger kits a lot. Those are both Pascal and Wave, depending on which ones. Yeah, kind of really just about anything.
Yeah, you've built a lot.
Kotobukiya would probably just be my favorite non-Bandai, just because it's the majority. Anything that I build that's non-Bandai, kind of 8 out of 10 or more, it's Kotobukiya stuff usually.
I've done a lot of resin stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's fun.
So add that to my belt.
Sure.
Notches.
Let's see a couple of quick and easy ones here. Did you watch the Daytona 500?
Yeah, I live here in Daytona. Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I watched a couple minutes of it while I was stepping over at our neighbor's house.
Yeah, you're not real. I mean, growing up here,
Mm.
like you basically just get into racing because, especially as a kid, because that's something your parents can take you to. I guess we'll have to take you to a race, and you'll be like, I can't see the cars 90% of the time on the track.
Yeah, that. I mean, I don't know.
Going to certain things at races is fun.
I think.
I don't like going and sitting and watching the race, but I do like going to the infield before the race and then walking around the track before the race. But when you get in like the stands here at Daytona, you got one little section you can see really well. The turns you can see because they're up on the banking.
Yeah.
But if you're on the front stretch, you can't see any of the back stretch. There's no more seats on the back stretch. So you're kind of limited to your field of vision. They do have these big TVs, but no. TV's better.
To me, it just sounds like it's, number one, very expensive. Number two, like just the hassle of fighting the crowds just wouldn't be something that I would be into. But I think I probably could agree that it would be interesting just to kind of go around, like, aside from the race, just all of, like the rest of kind of what's going on there would be cool.
Infield is a lot of fun because like the garages, if you have an infield pass, you literally can just talk to people right there in the garages. Like you're not really, if they tell you to get out, you get out, but you can kind of walk around wherever you want, which is neat. No other sport really is like that, where you can walk around like locker rooms and stuff. So
but we at that time, while the Daytona 500 was going on, was when we were at the Reptile Center.
Okay.
So my wife and our kids, we went to a reptile discovery center. We went and saw some snakes and stuff, and we saw them. They demonstrated how they milk the snak's, how they draw the venom and everything. So it was cool. We had a good time, just not watching the Daytona 500.
The best drive around Daytona is when the Daytona 500 is going on.
Oh,
there's no traffic.
Oh, really?
But before and after, tons of traffic. But while it's going, no one's on the road.
Really? This other one here is another easy question for us, although that one we did kind of get off into a little bit of discussion on. But this one, will you guys ever open a second store?
No.
That's very unlikely.
It would be here. It wouldn't be in any other state or any other.
Something similar locally that was just kind of like a secondary,
maybe
brick and mortar shop.
Maybe. Probably not.
Yeah.
Which we kind of talked about that. Actually.
Yeah. Just kind of don't really need it, and it would just kind of make logistics kind of more difficult for us to have to try to keep stuff in stock here and there.
Yeah. It's just way easier not to. I know that's probably like a bad answer to that question, but it's just easier not to. So.
Yeah. There's not really any need.
No,
or any plus side other than just like having that as an additional location that people can go into. But I mean, if you're talking about like having a place that's 30 minutes from here, if people want to come in to our store,
they can just drive the 30 minutes.
Yeah. Right. All right. So let's see. What is your favorite anime? Toy Mechanic asked.
Ooh, I got a few. So I like Dragon Ball Z just because, it was on Toonami. I really like Gate. So if any of you know what Gate is, you need to tell them to make some more seasons. Fullmetal Alchemist, both Brotherhood and the original one. Log Horizon I like. Do you know any of these? You know Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Do you know
other than
Gate,
that,
though?
no.
No?
Is that Steins Gate?
No, just
Okay.
Gate. So
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
basically, it's about this guy who likes manga and stuff, but pretty much a portal opens from a fantasy world into our world in the middle of like Tokyo or something, and all these knights come through and start killing people. So then we send the military into there and just obliterate them because all they have is swords and stuff.
Okay.
And then basically this guy's part of a peacekeeping force to work with different kingdoms in there, and he's going around. And then of course he has little girls with him that help him, make peace and win people over in villages and crap like that. Very good series though. Ghost in the Shell is good. Trying to say non-mainstream ones though that I like. Log Horizon's good though. It's kind of like Sword Art Online, but not really.
I haven't seen a whole lot of anime series.
Okay.
I tend to prefer movies more than like a series, but like series.
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, for sure. Those most of the series that I've seen is stuff that like was on Toonami. Like anything since then, I haven't really watched all that much. But yeah, like original Dragon Ball, I prefer more than Dragon Ball Z. Although Dragon Ball Z is good too, but original Dragon Ball is one of my favorite, probably. Evangelion.
I've never watched all of Evangelion. Like I know there's different movies to it too, but I've never seen all of it. You know what's not an anime that was on Toonami that doesn't get a lot of love that was great? It's a Reboot. Yes.
Well, if you're going there, then I would say Beast Wars.
Yeah, that was all right. Now I'm gonna get hate.
It's great.
It is good.
I've actually rewatched Beast Wars many times since like its original like TV days.
Nice.
Just watched it online. I shouldn't say many times, a few times. Like every few years, I'll rewatch it. It's good. But no, like movies. There's actually one that I was just talking about, or not really, kind of posted about. Mind Game. Sorry, I know you got me saying Gate. Mind Game is a really good movie. That's Studio 4C, if I remember correctly, is the studio that produced that. And they kind of have their own quite unique style.
Did you see? You have Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
Did you see all the different anime studios that made the short Star Wars stuff? So there's
what was that called?
I
want to say. I've not seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like there was like 8 like anime studios that did like 5-minute or 10-minute short like Star Wars stories, and they a lot of them are really good.
No, I think I saw about that, but I have not seen it. See, you got another Mind Game fan there. Yeah, and I feel like there's some other ones. Summer Wars that was another really cool one as well.
Yeah, I'm not a big movie fan, I guess.
See, I like movies because it's just like a more concise story, where a lot of times series are kind of, they draw it out because they have to fill, a certain number of episodes. I like just kind of telling the story that they want to tell in the movie.
Made in Abyss is pretty good too.
Not seen that.
It was really good.
I know what it is, but
yeah. Star Wars Visions, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think we saw the trailer, and my wife and I were like, yeah, I want to watch that, but we have not watched it yet.
Yeah, it's good. There's some weird ones. A lot of them are really good.
Looks kind of very similar to like Love, Death, Robots.
Yeah.
That's just like short, little short stories. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Do you think we will get the rest of the Shuffle Alliance someday? I assume if so, Premium Bandai thoughts. Yes.
Yep.
Yes and yes. I think we will, and they'll all be Premium Bandai. Yep. Probably like one per year.
Yeah, I would say so. Years. Yeah, I would. Milk that cow slowly.
What's your? Oh, let's see. We kind of already answered that. Okay, but an MGEX gun tank would be cool, right? Might be a fun way for Bandai to motorize it tastefully. Yeah, if they're gonna do something where they're adding a motor into a kit, could be interesting for a gun tank. Yeah,
good idea, Connor.
Sure.
They had that motorized, and then nothing ever came of that, right?
Yeah,
remember
something
that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, they showed like that kind of frame they had.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you want as a present this year? If somebody were to get you a present, what would you want?
I feel like I'm a hard person to shop for because I don't want anything until I want it.
And when you want to, you just buy it yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like that's why it's difficult to shop for
Yeah.
any people who are kind of adults.
Yeah.
It's because that's usually kind of just what we do, right?
Mhm.
You want it. If you can afford it, you
Right.
buy it.
Yeah, my best gifts have been things that like people have gotten me that they've made or knew me enough. Like my wife has got me some really good stuff because she knows me, so she'll find things that I don't even know exist, but knows I'll want them. So she does a good job with that. But I can't answer that question because I don't really want anything right now.
Yeah. Tim in the chat asked if there's any talk about the Mecha Modelers Expo again.
We have a deposit still in there. So
really?
Yeah, they said we could hold it. They would hold it forever because of all the COVID stuff. Yeah, probably next year, honestly.
This year, hopefully, we'll have the new warehouse, and so that'll be kind of a whole thing of moving over into the new warehouse.
Yeah.
So it would be hard to do both of those things in the same year.
But probably next year, you guys might start hearing things probably middle of the year.
Related to that, here's the question here from Dan. Any chance you might have a booth at MegaCon this year or any other conventions?
Not this year, sorry. Although, so conventions are fun, but a lot of work. I think I've told you this, right? Yes.
Yeah, we've had this kind of question before.
They are a lot of fun, but a lot of work and a lot of just a pain to do. But I'm sure we will do one because Ron's never done one. Probably most people here haven't done it. But there's a problem too, is I can't pay for everyone here to go to run the booth. But a lot of kind of like Ron's been here now 3 years, and we didn't, no conventions for him. You haven't been to any of Derek hasn't been. Dennis hasn't been. So, and then everyone wants me to. So we probably will, but probably not this year. For sure, not this year. Maybe next year. Maybe the Gundam our expo.
Yeah. David asked, do we have a storefront or is it online only? So we do have a storefront.
Yeah, we have a storefront. It's right connected to our warehouse. We're open 11 to 5 every day. Well, Monday through Friday, not Saturday, Sunday.
Adam asked, do you all have a preferred airbrush and paints that you like to use for Gundam? He said he's a seasoned modeler, but brand new to Gundam.
Yeah, so I like a bunch of different paint brands. The Sunin 7, I actually was testing out the other day. I thought was really good, which is a new line of paint that we have here. SMS is good. Gaia is good. Mr. Color's good. I mean, honestly, you can't really go wrong with any of those brands. As far as airbrush, I use Iwata and I use siphon feed. I prefer over gravity feed, but that's just my.
And I know Tim is in the chat and he'll agree with you, but most other people,
siphon feed just
use gravity feed.
So much easier to switch out colors and clean. I feel like.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, Adam, to answer your question, I mean, most people that paint Gunpla use lacquer-based paints generally. So yeah, kind of any hobby paint that's lacquer-based, I mean, it's going to be what people typically use, but you certainly don't have to. And airbrush, yeah, I mean, whatever type of airbrush you prefer is just kind of a preference thing. There's not even any particular brand either that's like more preferred one or the other. So it's just your preference, really. There's not kind of, if you're an experienced modeler, whatever you already have that you're using for whatever other kinds of model you're using, you're building, you can probably use that on Gunpla.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would be fine, unless it's like an airbrush that's like a 0.5 or something like that. That's really wide. A lot of Gunpla parts are really small.
Yeah, you just be wasting a lot of paint.
Yeah. or you'd have to, yeah.
Then Ian
Mess with
asked,
it a little bit.
how do you clean a site? Well, Ian, it's extremely easy. You have a bottle of your paint that is in your airbrush. You pull it out of your airbrush. You then take a bottle of paint that has your cleaner in it. You pop that into your airbrush. You go a little bit, you take it out, and you move on to your next color.
Oh, so you have to put a whole other bottle in between the paint colors.
No, you just pop it on, pop it right off. There, you gotta like squirt it in and like try to clean out the bowl. And then if you go to white, after a color, you can clean that whole thing.
Oh.
Then your white comes out with like parts of yellow or red. These are all my experiences with gravity airbrushes and why I hate them.
All right, switching over to YouTube here. Oh, here's a question from how do you read that?
ZakuAurelius, is that it?
So what is Adam getting Zach for his birthday? Oh, that's a good question.
That's weird.
What are the replies there? What's from Tim? What's Adam and Zach getting Tim for his birthday? It's tomorrow. Oh, it's Tim's birthday tomorrow?
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's crazy. Too bad we're off on the weekend. So
what'd you get him?
My love and undying prayers and good vibes.
Hope you got a gift receipt for that.
No, it's priceless.
Tim, I sent something to you. Don't worry.
He wrote my name on it.
I did not. I wrote from Zach only.
You didn't write my name on it?
Nope.
When is your birthday?
Mine's Tuesday. So I forgot that.
26th, right?
28th.
28th.
I forgot that Tim's and my birthday are quite close.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
mine's coming up Tuesday.
You know the thing that I do here, right? For everyone's birthday.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way I can't forget.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can't like mess up or be unfair about anybody's birthdays if you just do nothing for people's birthdays.
Ron, on the other hand, Ron does things.
Yeah, Ron likes to.
And then Ron forgot Dennis's birthday.
But Dennis's birthday was on a Saturday.
It was.
So
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tim. If
I
don't tell you tomorrow, I'm sure I will, though. And happy birthday, Zach. If I don't tell you, Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. This one's for anyone. Which kit did you guys dislike the design of but ended up really liking after building it? So that happens. That happens sometimes.
Yeah. Gyaradoga. I did not like the way it looked, but I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then really liked the kit after I built it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could think of a specific example. It happens from time to time, and usually I would mention that in the review. So, I mean, if you've ever heard me say that in a review, then that's an example of that. I can't think of any at the moment, just like off the top of my head. I mean, like certain designs definitely have grown on me over the years, though. Different kits, just from building the kit, and having fun with that. Robin Hoods, based on your personal experience, what's the one thing you think Bandai or Kotobukiya can do to improve their kits moving forward in general? Less seam lines?
Sure.
Or hiding the seam lines better?
Yeah, which, I mean, I think they do. The newer kits are way better at that. I mean, there's really... The problem is I think a lot of, like, for example, Bandai's kind of hit a point where for me anyways, and your normal regular builder, we don't know it can get improved until they improve it.
Yeah.
Kotobukiya, their newer kits are relatively the same way. It's just, and I mean, that's, I guess, my answer. I don't know.
Damio says, stop putting runner connection points on the surface of kits. So, I mean, I think what he means is that he wants everything to be undergated or on areas that like are not going to show
visible
parts that are going to end up being covered up. I guess kind of.
I didn't say that because I know you don't care about.
Yeah, I know. You know how I feel about undergating. But I will say, like, to his point, sometimes like the placement of like where the connections are is really it can be really quite annoying because it's like right next to like a
Mhm.
detail, so you have to be like really super careful with it,
Yeah.
not to mess up like whatever detail it's right next to or something. And the same thing goes like for mold lines. Sometimes they'll have like a mold line that goes right
through it.
across like this tiny little detail part that's kind of impossible to sand without sanding away the entire detail. So yeah, sometimes the placement of the gates can be a little bit annoying. It's pretty few and far between. Most of the time it's fine. But all right, let's see. We'll maybe get a couple more in here before we draw our winner for the giveaway. But let's see. Area asked, are we going to be seeing more restocked HGFC kits in the future, which would be the G Gundam kits? How is everybody, including Zach's family, doing these days with all the events going on in the world? Well, fortunately, a lot of the worst events that have been going on in the world have not been here.
Yeah.
Like you had like the earthquakes in Turkey, war and stuff, which is all kind of over in that area.
Turkey stuff's crazy.
Yeah. So we've been very lucky here that, you know,
we just had a train that derailed.
Yeah, I mean, in Florida, in this area that we are.
Yeah, there's not.
And like in our particular area, nothing too crazy going on. And I think like the worst thing would have been just the hurricane, which was back in September.
Sure.
Something like that. So, and even that, it was bad for a lot of people, but I mean, like, it wasn't like hundreds of people dying or anything like that. So
just flooding, which is usually.
As
far as the number one kit that is on like the let me know by email if it's back in stock is
Archie got Gundam.
No, because we have
Nobel,
the Berserk version.
Yep, that is the number one kit.
Really?
People, yep. And whenever I was looking at that yesterday, yeah, I mean, there's like, when we sold P Bandai for some reason, there's like 2 P Bandai kits that we'll never put up there ever again. And then the Berserk Nobel Gundam is like, I think like 3,000 people are having an email out for that.
So as soon as we do ever get any of those in, they're not going to last very long.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we got the God Gundam one.
The HG fairly recently.
Yeah, it was like the first restock we had this month. That first container, they were in that. The Master Gundam was in there too. But no Nobel. So
there's really not that many of the of like
there's 3, right? Or 4 if you consider the Nobel the 2 versions.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Didn't they make a grunt suit from that?
Yes, the Dark Army suit. Yeah, that's true.
So 5.
And then a couple of like there's like the Build Divers variant of that, and there's the P Bandai variant of that. But otherwise, that's about it. Will said, Zach, have you done a video of completed display builds that are at the storefront? For those of us that can't visit in person, would love to see that in a video gallery. If the video exists, drop a link. Well, here on this channel, there's the tour video that I did last year. There's a video that goes through a tour of the storefront and the warehouse area here. So you can check that video out.
I have some of them on there. I don't know if that it would literally be like a 30-second video though, as you would just, if you did all of them.
Yeah, it's not like focusing necessarily on like the builds that are in the storefront. Most of the stuff that's in the storefront is like snap build stuff. There's a few like painted models. There's a couple of mine, and there's a couple of other ones that are mine that are done by friends of mine. There's the one from June,
Chris, the Apex that Chris did.
Apex,
the prototype that he painted up and did an awesome job. The tank, Apex tank.
From the contest. And Chuckle Falcon's custom aerial
SD aerial thing.
So we've got a few painted builds, and then hopefully that'll grow in the future. And then once we have once we're moved into the new space and have a new storefront, new warehouse, and everything, maybe we can set that up in a way so that we have a dedicated section is like just for like painted builds by like staff and other friends, because we just have some that are done by just different friends in the community. So all right, let's see what's a good last one here for us. No, let me see if I can find a good one. here's one maybe for you that you can talk about while I'm maybe looking for maybe one more. But how do you decide what goes in the monthly model kit box? I've gotten 2 so far and enjoyed them both. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, as far as like all the little like add-ons, like the detail parts and then photo etch parts and what else goes in there, some paints, Gundam markers, haiku parts, decals, that's all random. Like we literally have a whole bunch of that are in boxes that we just kind of, each box gets a certain amount of those, additional parts, and it's just kind of random for those. But we pick stuff that has a high value and maybe not a high cost, if that makes sense, to put in there. So stuff that people are going to use that are getting the box. Sure. As far as the kit we pick, honestly, it's a lot of times we'll have to figure out what we have a lot of.
Enough to fulfill all
right.
the orders. Right?
Yeah, the goal is to try to make the box have the same kit as much as we can. So, if we say we have
that particular month.
Yeah. I mean, there might be a time where we have to like split the month because we maybe didn't have. So
some people will get this kit, some people will get
right.
that kit, yeah.
So you want to find something that's a good kit.
Yeah.
We're not blowing it out of the water selling a bunch of them because then we won't have enough for the whole month.
Yeah.
But is a good value. So, sometimes we'll pick a kit that might cost a little bit more than what we want to put in the box. But we might break even that month on each box. But you are in turn helping us kind of lower our inventory. It's kind of like it's not really rocket science. It's just finding what's not flying, what is good value, and that what people would be happy opening and getting, and knowing that the money they spend is actually worth what that box is worth, or they feel like they got more than what that box is worth. I think is important.
Yeah.
We did start putting the full-size Gundam stickers in the box, and then in our regular boxes, you kind of get the little like zoomed-in square sticker now.
For just the orders.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 questions here that I want to do, just because this one I'm quite curious here myself. Robin asked, in terms of sales, which Kotobukiya model kit series have been selling the most consistently over the years?
Megami Device.
Megami Device.
Yeah. Megami Device, then Zoids, then Frame Arms, then Hex Gear, and then kind of all the
everything else.
Yeah. Everything else really is hard because there's not a lot of everything else. I mean, Metal Gear.
Yeah,
is
got a bunch and sold a bunch of those.
Yeah, that's probably like it's. I gotta look. It might be Hex Gear. But the problem is, I think I put it in the Hex Gear category because it would be by itself.
Otherwise,
maybe, or it was, and I took it out. So I don't know. But yeah, Megami Device by far is. And then Zoids, now that we can get them here in the U.S., Zoids is there. But we'll get a Megami Device, and we'll a lot of times Megami Device kits are allocated, meaning they are sending a set number here to the States, and we get a set number of that kit that we were allowed to get. And
I think probably one of the reasons for that is that people probably generally know that those are kind of limited in that they do occasionally get reprinted, some of them, but you really kind of don't know if or when that's going to happen. And so like you kind of have to get it when it comes out for those, which is a good way for Kotobukiya to do that and make sure they sell them really well. And this other question here from Damios just will be our last one here before we get to the giveaway. He wanted to know what's up with the stickers lately. He said that the resolution and quality haven't been as good as they were. So that was something that we have now
that is fixed. So what are we now? 2 months? A month
of printing our
own stickers. So stickers started through COVID and then towards the end of COVID. It was we weren't getting the stickers on time from any print shop. Like we would send these stickers in weeks in advance to try to get them in time for the month that we need them, and they would be weeks late. And they were just going up and up and up in price for us to give out. So it kind of came down to, do we just give a small USAGS sticker, or do we actually keep doing what we're doing? And so looking through that,
we found out we could just buy a sticker machine and figure out how much the stickers would cost, and literally the machine pays itself off in 3 months. Instead of us buying stickers from someone else, we make them. We literally would have paid back the machine. With that fun process comes learning how to print stickers, what material to use, what ink to use,
how to deal with the image resolution.
Right. Yeah. So some of you guys actually might have gotten stickers that were it was cut out, but you got a square, so you had to peel it out. Well, now we figured out how to make sure we get the perf cut around it. But no, so the image quality should be fixed completely.
Going forward.
Yeah. Every morning I go down there. I think we've got it fully, solidly, nicely fixed the way Terry wants. Like 4 days ago.
Quite recently.
Yeah. So it was printing, but it was a little pixelated, but now it's crisp, clean, and solid. So
it'll be better.
Yeah. And then we got the actual cut around the sticker. So now, honestly, if you haven't ordered from us probably in the last 3 or 4 months, you probably wouldn't know that we struggled with some stickers there, because it's pretty much now kind of apples to apples. It's roughly the same thing now. So good question though.
If you did get some of the stickers in between that
just
weren't as nice,
right, we can ship another one out to you, especially if you paid for a sticker pack and for some reason one of those slipped in there. Just let us know. You will definitely send you out a nice clean nice one.
Just appreciate your guys' patience. Well, we've been trying to figure that out. Shouldn't say we, not me. You have you and Dennis. You guys have been figuring that out. But I know it's been a process.
Stickers are expensive, and it was we just like I said, just went to just doing a plain generic USAGS one instead of like the nice cool ones that come with every package. But just basically we're turning into our own print shop. We now print our own shirts here. We do our own stickers here. The only thing we don't do here is the little thank you card that you get, the little pamphlet that you get in your boxes. I think that's really the only kind
even that we have the folding machine for us, so we have part of the process we're doing here.
Half of it, So we got a paper folding machine, so we could order those in, not folded, so we're saving money, and we just fold them here, which that machine paid itself off the first time that we bought the
all right, let's get to our question here, or our drawing.
All the fun back end stuff that people don't ever think about, I guess, when.
Let's see. That's not what I want. Here we go. Oof. All right.
For those first print stickers are a collector's item now. Yeah.
So we got our 3 platforms. Among those, one is Instagram, where we had 72 comments.
45, the middle. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. If you got some crappy stickers, like I said, just send us an email. I'll make sure I let customer service know. We can, just let us know what sticker it was, and we can get you out. It as long as one you paid for. If it's kind of like the free one in the box, if you really hated it, we'll get you another one. But for sure, if you paid for a sticker pack and you got a shitty one, let us know. Most of the sticker packs didn't even have. Most of them were from the old printers that we had bought. So
41, 42, 43, 44, 45 from Infernal Saxon. He said, what are your opinions on the 30-minute missions sisters kits so far?
I think they're great. I think what's really cool is seeing what people build with them that are not the basic kit that you're supposed to build. I've seen tons and tons of people customize them, which is really, really cool. Kind of getting off topic. I guess show you a V Thor that someone customized. It looks but congratulations. Send us an email to support@usagundamstore.com. We just need you logged into your Instagram account. And then what address you want us to ship it to. And we'll get that out to you. And congratulations. Very cool kit.
And with it being like the inaugural release from this new company, you get to be, we just got these in. So you can get to be, one of the first people that are going to be getting one of these. At least here in the US. So that's awesome. my thoughts on 30 minutes missions, a sister's line. Yeah, for me, the difficult thing is that because it's so wide open as to how you can customize them, it's almost like kind of being overwhelmed by too many options of what you can do with that. It's kind of hard to know, which way to go with that. But yeah, I mean, just buying a few of the kits, a few of the sets, and just kind of playing around with it and just kind of seeing what you can come up with is there's a lot of things you can come up with. And there's a lot of really great, like you said, seeing stuff online, especially on Twitter. Yeah, there's a lot of really great stuff that you can see people do. I mean, there's a lot of builds that you see people make that are like not painted or customized or anything. They're just assembled. So it's like the kind of thing that you could just look at what other people are doing and you can see exactly what parts are from what different sets if you're familiar with them. You can get some really good ideas about, oh, I didn't know that part could be used for that, you know. So yeah, just looking around online for inspiration is really cool. You can see a lot of people that are doing a lot of really cool stuff with those kits.
And David, don't feel bad. He said he felt bad about complaining about free stickers.
Oh,
don't feel bad.
I mean, we knew that, you know, the quality was not to what we wanted, so that's what we were trying to figure out.
I didn't know that I think one person got, one or two people might have gotten them in like a sticker pack, which shouldn't have happened. But the free stickers, you kind of got to look hard. You know, they're not that bad, but it all should be cleaned up now for sure.
So anyway, we'll get this out, and as always, guys, thank you so much. We'll let you know as far as when the next build day is, when the next contest is going to be. That stuff we should be figuring out hopefully pretty soon. But thank you guys all so much for your patience. I mean, on behalf of everybody down there that's working hard to get all the orders picked and shipped and everything. There's a lot, so a lot of stuff coming in and going, as you said.
It's been a fun month.
Anything else?
No, just like Zach said, thank you guys. You know, without your guys' support, we couldn't do what we love to do. So, thank you guys, for your patience, your support, and your orders, and getting on here and watching us and asking us questions.
Yes, and I mean, as far as the questions go, if you guys do have other questions for anything else in between, I mean, you can always, if you have questions about certain items, things like that, you can always contact support. If you have just other questions you want to ask Adam or I about, I mean, we're around on social media as well, so feel free to just kind of ask questions you have about different things anytime. I'm always open to ask. I mean, some people get surprised. I'll get like a message from somebody and I reply and they're like, I can't believe you responded. I've responded to everybody. So if you ask, I'm always around down there. So anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.